Hey guys, let's talk about the 5 most popular chord progressions that'll make you play hundreds, if not thousands, of songs.
When I find myself in times of trouble,
The goal is to learn the chords, their function, and how they sound in a song. I'll also play a few examples of popular songs written with these chord progressions. So let's dive right in. The chord progression number 1 is the MTV or the Top 100 or the Billboard chord progression. It's the 1 5 6 4. I know that many of you recognize this chord progression: C, G, A minor, and F. We can play it in any key. For example, E major, B major, C sharp minor, and A. Now, each chord progression moves between moments of tension and release. The chord function determines whether the chord is in a state of rest or pulls towards another chord. A chord can have 3 functions: tonic function, the resting point of a chord progression, the home chord; the subdominant function, which are chords that tend to move away from the tonic and pull towards dominant chords; and then of course dominant chords, which are the most unstable chords that have a strong pull towards tonic chords. For example, in this chord progression, chord 1 is the C major chord, is the home chord, a tonic chord. Second chord is the G major chord, chord 5, it's a dominant chord. This chord adds tension to the chord progression, and this tension pulls towards a tonic chord. An A minor chord is also a tonic chord, it's the chord 6 in the key of C major. And then of course the chord 4, which is a subdominant chord. In this case we go from subdominant to tonic chord. This chord progression dominated every decade since the 90s. Hundreds of popular songs are written using this chord progression. You can hear it in pop music, pop rock, country music, folk music. Bands and artists like Blink-182, Pink, Rihanna, 21 Pilots, The Cure, Taylor Swift, The Rolling Stones, Aerosmith, Springsteen, Katy Perry, The Beatles, Alicia Keys, The Police, Adele, and a huge number of bands and songwriters all use this chord progression in their most popular songs. Let's play a few songs.
when I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me.
But I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I need you. And no one can get in the way of what I'm feeling.
Can you feel the love tonight?
Chord progression number 2, I call it the minor flavor, is the 6, 4, 1, 5. Or if you consider the minor key, 1, 6, 3, 7. If we're playing this in the key of A minor, we will have A minor, F, C and G. We can play it in any key. E minor, C, G, or D. D minor key, D minor, B flat major, F major, and C major. The first 2 chords of this chord progression are awesome. We have the A minor chord, chord 1, the home chord, and the F major chord, which is chord 6. It's a beautiful and profound chord progression. Even if you play just these two chords, you get a beautiful sounding chord progression. Now the C major chord, chord 3, adds a little bit of joy to the chord progression. And then of course, the G major chord is a dominant chord again in this case, and so it really pulls towards the tonic chord, the A minor chord. You can find a lot of songs using this chord progression. Africa by the awesome band Toto, John Legend, All of Me, Eagle Eye Cherry, Save Tonight, Apologize by One Republic, If I Were a Boy by Beyoncé, and many, many other songs. Let me play a few examples.
What would I do without your smart mouth? Drawing me in and you kicking me out. Sing tonight. Fight to break or don't come tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be gonna sing tonight. I said it's too late to apologize. It's too late.
Chord progression number 3, I call it the Sultans of Swing chord progression. 1, 7, 6, 5. All in the key of D minor, since we are talking about Sultans of Swing. D minor, C, B flat major, and A major. This chord progression is also called Andalusian cadence, a popular chord progression played in traditional flamenco music. It's a descending minor chord progression. We have chord 1, chord 7, chord 6, and of course chord 5. If we harmonize the A minor scale, the chord 5 is actually a minor chord. So this is how we're supposed to play this chord progression. Now you can borrow the E major chord from the A harmonic minor scale. So we add the G sharp to the scale, so that when we harmonize the chord 5, we end up with an E major chord. And this is the perfect dominant chord for this chord progression. Because now we have a dominant chord that naturally pulls towards the tonic chord, the A minor. Let's play a few examples.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, and it's my mind. Imagine how the world would be so very fine, so happy together.
Right in the road, don't you come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
Chord progression number 4, I call it the Wonderwall chord progression. Is an insanely popular chord progression. 1, 3, 7, 4 in a minor key. A unique aspect of this chord progression is the chord 4, which in a minor key is minor. So we are supposed to play an A minor chord, and I love this chord progression. However, the Wonderwall chord progression is played with the A major chord, so what is going on? Again, we borrow the chord from another key. The A major chord is played with the note C sharp, so we borrow this chord from the D major key. And now we have E minor, G, D, and A major. Now this change creates a unique open sound that makes the chord progression more vibrant and less sad. Chord progression 5, I call it the unresolved chord progression, is the 4, 1, 5, and 6. This chord progression starts with the chord F. But make no mistake, it's not in the key of F. Instead, it's in the key of C major. Now this chord progression starts with chord 4 and then chord 1. Now if chord 1 gives stability and a sense of arrival, chord 4 is quite the opposite. And so playing a chord progression that starts with chord 4 creates a lot of momentum and movement. And it feels like the chord progression really never ends. Now I know that with this chord progression we can play thousands of songs. Let me know which one is your favorite. Let me know which one you like the most. I'm gonna leave you to practice some of these chord progressions, guys. Have a nice rest of the day, and I'll see you next time.